Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gap Perspective with Haley and Janet. Hi Janet, how are you?
Hi, Haley. How are you?
We hope our listeners are having a wonderful summer. Janet and I apologize for not being as active, but we're going to get back into the swing of things.
Yes.
To start off this week's podcast episode, we are going to dive into the world of dating. So get ready for a fascinating, frustrating, and an often hilarious world of dating. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's unravel the mysteries of modern romance together. So basically, we're going to compare and contrast the differences or what has evolved now in my generation, the Gen Zers, compared to baby boomers, which definitely is the social media route with all the dating apps like Tinder, Hinge. There's
Who
a
are you
new
talking
app.
about, Haley? You talking about your generation or mine or both? Dating apps.
But I feel like now with your generation, it is still both because they could still go on their phone and still do it as well.
Yes, I agree. I know somebody that was on Match and they got married, but I hate to break the bad news. They're getting divorced now. But it's, seniors and just didn't work. So tell me now, Haley, how do you meet someone? Have you ever met somebody on a dating app?
I have tried dating apps and it was kind of boring for me. I think I like kind of the old, like, fashion old school way where if you're just like out at a bar and you meet someone and like that's how a conversation starts. I don't really like using the apps.
What about dating as far as texting? When I was a teenager, we had to sit by the phone. If your parents were on the phone, you didn't get the phone. Whoever was calling got a busy signal. Now it's so much more easier, I feel. A little easier. I don't think there's much suspense of someone. Like if they're not calling you and I was waiting for someone to call me, I'd be like, "Who's he gonna call?" I'd stay home like an idiot and wait for that person to call me. And then if they say I'm gonna call at 6 o'clock, say you do meet somebody or out and about,
Yeah.
and sick you give them a number. Today's term would be you got ghosted, right?
Just going to say that.
I do know some terms. I have a young son. So then it's 6:30 and you're like, I don't think they're calling. Did that transfer to texting? I wish we had texting back then. Are you going to call me or not?
Now a lot of girls in this generation apply more pressure to the guy where if they were supposed to like receive a FaceTime call or someone was supposed to meet up with you at a certain time and then it's now 6:30. I feel like now the girl does reach out and she's like, hey, like what happened or whatever, and then if you like receive like no message from the guy or whatever, then you got your response.
They're not calling. They're not texting. They're not calling, coming around. There's not much suspense, even with dating as far as sexual stuff. I know I'm going way past dating, but I think today with the songs, it's very much sexual. When I was growing up, they weren't songs. You danced like that, slow dances at a dance. But now the songs suggest a lot. They're very disrespectful to women. In my day, the songs were like, am I allowed to name a song? Any kind of legal issues if I name a song? Like Chances Are with Johnny Mathis. Do you know who that is, Haley?
How did the song go?
I am not going to sing.
Ugh.
Lyrics are Chances Are that I wear a silly grin whenever you walk into the room. Things like that. You Belong to Me by the Duprees.
Yeah,
There's a moon out tonight. There's a moon out tonight is older, but they were just more making you think more and more to the imagination. When
yeah.
now it's like, Get over here. I'm going to rip your clothes off. And the girl's like, okay. No. Girls, you got to get respected a little more. In my day, that changed too. Because when the 70s came around, it was a lot of free sex, hippies and pot and all that. I think that's what made it sway the other way. I don't know when it started. I think it was in the 70s when there wasn't so much romance. It was more sexual, more like they say now, hooking up, right? Yeah. What does hooking up mean to you, Haley, at your age? Tell me what it means.
I feel like people have two perspectives. One is making out with someone. The second is sleeping with someone.
Like hit all the bases, full base? You don't talk like that.
No.
Like if you watch the show called The Gilded Age, did you watch it?
No.
Age? Now that's going back into the 1800s. First of all, you had all those clothes on. I say to myself, thank God I don't wear all those clothes. I get so many hot flashes now. You have people, we're talking about wealthy people. They would have to wear those corsets and you would tie them, pull them in the back. I wonder, how did those women breathe? If you watch that show, you get a more perspective way before my day, not even my mother's day. Dating was different. You had to ask the mother and father if you could date the daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a free for all. Even with me, they didn't ask your mother and father. But if your mother or father objected to that guy, they were going to make it known.
Right.
And I know that's probably the same today. That doesn't change. Do you, Haley?
No, I feel like that still plays a role. Now it's just a casual introduction. Like, hey, mom and dad, this is my boyfriend. They give their input after. Whether you listen or not, it's your choice.
It's a personal choice unless you're 15. But if you're over 18, there's not much that a parent can do. There are things out of our control. There's not much we could do about it. And I say the best thing is experience. That's the way we learn. I know I've had many of them. And of course, even some of my dating experience, I would knock off a few I shouldn't have went out with. But I can't mention names. But yeah, they're still alive. I think it's tougher for you guys because it's freer. Back in the day, men were cheaters, and so were women. Not just men. We're always blaming the men, blaming the men. A lot of women are cheaters too. If you go back in time, if you go on Ancestry, there are 10,000, probably more people in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
That their parents were not their parents. Either they were adopted or their bio mom or dad is not their bio mom and dad. Now, that was an era where the wife was home, but they made time to do what they were doing and have children with someone else, but not disclose it to their husband or to anyone for that matter. And now a lot of the baby boomers are finding that out. Unfortunately, a lot of them have bio parents that are deceased, so they'll never really know. And I think that's a little unfair. You can't do anything about it, they're deceased, so just have to live your life. But you've already lived. So now you're in a little bit of a shock. You can't let it get you down. And the other thing is, how do people today break up?
I feel like guys don't really do it in person anymore. Like it would be a text message or a phone call. I feel like they are a bit of cowards when they do that. You don't really address the issue 100%, but
It's
also
too easy.
Yeah, in my generation there is more freedom, but a lot of people are scared of commitment. They have trust issues and things like that, where the term gets brought in. I don't know if you ever heard of it, like situationships, where
No, I never have.
So in my generation, a situationship is either romantic or a sexual relationship without clear labels or commitment.
that like friends with benefits?
Kinda, but like you both are like feeling each other, like you vibe with each other well, and there's like feelings there, but there's not there's no commitment there.
It's like friends with benefits. Where do you expect that to go? Where do the young people expect that to go? Are they satisfied with that? Or sometimes women will settle for that, thinking that they're going to change the guy's mind.
Yeah.
I've
So
been there.
some females settle at first because they're like, okay, like this is what it is for now, but it's going to grow into something. And then
He's
you
going to
just,
fall madly in love with me
yeah,
after I give away the store.
then like they just ghost you, or you end up seeing them with another girl and you're like, oh, what the hell? And yeah.
You're just a piece.
Yeah.
Really, peace. Use the word, peace. Because we're back to disrespect. I think women today have to gain more respect. Did you ever hear the saying, they don't marry the one they're sleeping with, they marry the one they're not sleeping with?
Higher
Standards. Women don't have much respect for themselves. Some women do, but the songs don't help. Because you see these videos with these girls half naked. I know I sound old, but what are you portraying? It's sexual. Do you think guys like, oh, I want to take her for ice cream, for a walk? I don't think so. They want to take you somewhere else. And that's fine if that's what you want. But if a young lady is looking for something more substantial, you should get to know the person more and see the things you love about somebody at first or the things you hate in the end. That wonderful little laugh is so cute. Then a year down, I hate that laugh. Doesn't that happen? Yeah, it does. We just settle. We need to tell people how we feel. That's why I wish I had texting back then. I'd be in big trouble if I remained the same. Back then, we were interested in having fun. But dating in high school, mostly everybody got married after high school. And that's what I was supposed to be doing. But I decided that was not what I wanted. My boyfriend at the time was like, well, I decided to have a career. It worked out okay. I mean, but there were some people that I know that are still together from then. Then there's other people that, divorced, married 4 times. I don't know. Are people in your generation, is that the goal that they want to get married? What's the goal? The end goal in relationships these days?
I feel like the younger generation, like they still want that, like they still want that traditional aspect where you get married and have children. I feel like people hold on to a lot of hurt. They feel like they're not worthy of that, or they don't want to commit to something like that. I feel like it has a lot to do with fear.
Talking personally, or are you talking about your generation?
Just in my generation.
Okay. And they were afraid of commitment?
Yeah.
Think it's a financial thing, or it's just that they have everything at their fingertips and they don't need to?
Well, within my generation, with like us being in like our young 20s, most of us have been through our first heartbreak. I feel like after a heartbreak, that's what changes a person. They try to branch out in their mid 20s and focus more on themselves. It's a self development thing. A lot of people decide to prioritize themselves and satisfy themselves with what they want or what they need, rather than having to depend on someone else for
their future. Yeah, that's true. I can understand that. I just think that when women If you didn't get married at a certain age, it was horrible. You had to be married. A lot of women did settle. They settled, even though this partner had habits, maybe addictions, and they said, I love him. Love doesn't pay the bills. Today, I hope girls are smarter and don't put up with things. Years ago, your mother would say, you made your bed, so now you sleep in it. If a woman wanted to get divorced or leave their husband,
Right.
no, that was not accepted, even if the woman was being abused. One time when I was a teenager, I can't really go into who these people are, but she said to me, it was a relative, can you stay with me tonight? We will order a house. She said, because I'm afraid he's going to beat me up when you sleep.
Yeah.
I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I was devastated. I said to my mother, oh my God, he hits her. She goes, I guess so. They had like few kids, but she stayed. She always stayed. And then she ended up leaving many, many, many years later. She was older. And do you know that his family got mad at her? I'm like, good for her. How could she do that to him? Are you serious? I said, how could she do that to him? She put up for years of abuse. They didn't talk about it back then. Everything was secretive. That's why now I like that things are out in the open. But then again, on the other side, is too much information. If there was a happy medium, it would be good. I mean, my son tells me things sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, don't even tell me that,
Yeah.
But they have more of an open relationship. I would never tell my mother some of the things. And you do the same thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm normally open to you and my mom.
Yeah, I always say to you, remember, I'm not your mother, so
I just always am honest. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too honest.
I never told my mother anything. I probably should have. I wouldn't have been some of the messes I got myself into. But yeah, I don't know. I think women need to gain more respect for themselves and not take any shit from men. I'm going to use the word shit because we're doing a podcast. Are we allowed to say anything? Is there any kind of censor on your own podcast?
No, you don't have to censor. If we end up like a lot in an episode, I just have to check explicit us cursing. I wouldn't take it off.
It was different back then. And today, I don't think when you meet somebody, you're looking at them as husband material, the young people. Back then, the goal was to meet somebody and get married and have kids. Today, it's thought more carefully. I'm hoping that it is. Women are more emotional than men.
Yeah.
We think with our heart. They think with something else. Two heads.
Yeah.
Not whichever one pops up first, that's the one that wins. We think emotional and they think more. I don't even know what they think. Logically, I don't think they fall in love as fast as women do. In my experience, I don't think so. Or they don't show it. Maybe that's it.
I feel like if it is the guy before the girl, they hide it to feel her out more, then vocalize that. From my experience as well, I've never said like I love you first. It always has been the guy.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into any of those particulars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What does that even mean? Really? Sometimes. Respect. Respect and words. Sometimes words are just words. Actions speak louder than words. People that are abusive say, oh, I love you. I'm so sorry. Really? You love me? If you love me, you wouldn't even think about putting your hands up to me, you know? Disrespecting me. And words are cheap. There's some guys that never say it, they just show it, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like I said, men aren't as emotional as women. Even with women, most of them will not maybe be so attracted that they fall madly in love right away. But well, they think they're madly in love right away, and they'll have, sexual relationships, and they think that they're in love because that happens. That's why sometimes I think maybe it's better not to jump into that so quickly, get to know the person. There's so many crazy shows on right now for dating. I like to listen to them all. You watch the Love Island?
Yes.
I don't watch it. I watch the stupid 90 Day Fiance. I like that one.
Season 6
Plug
is
today.
my favorite.
Which one?
Season 6 of Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on there? Older? Now I heard they have some golden people on there, older people.
I think it's like a mixture. Normally, like from season 6, they're in like their early mid 20s. I think the oldest one from that season that was on might have been 30 or 31.
I just saw one, and I thought they were middle-aged women with younger guys. I didn't watch the show because I watch enough of that nonsense. I call it mindless TV, but I like it.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, I can't believe you watch that. I go, I like it,
Yeah.
Takes you out into another orbit.
Right.
So you don't have to really think about anything serious. Of course, it's not you on the show, so it's easy to laugh or feel bad for them. But dating on those shows doesn't change. Even though you're waiting for a text, you're still waiting, You still have to wait for them to text you, just like we had to wait for a phone call. You have to wait for them to ask you for a date. It's kind of a waiting game. Dating is a waiting game, no matter what age you are. So I guess, are you dating, Haley?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. You happy?
Yes.
Make sure you check all the boxes. I hope so. Well, I think that today we had an interesting topic. If anybody wants to ask us any questions, they can go in our comments or give us your opinion. We'd like to hear what you have to say about dating if you're a baby boomer or a Gen Z or anybody.
Yeah.
We'd really like to hear because it's an interesting topic. There is a gap, but it's just a different way of doing it.
Right.
My generation did it differently than your generation. They might start soon having AI asking people for dates.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I'm like, what the heck?
It is getting crazy. Mm-hmm. But I was watching something about that in classrooms. The teacher will be there, but the AI is really going to be teaching the kid on the computer. It's kind of good because they like computers, young kids, and learn different things on computers. So maybe they will remember more. However, they still need the teacher. Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed our conversation today. Hale?
I hope everyone enjoyed our conversation. We would love it if you guys would also comment any topics that you would like us to discuss as well. But we hope you guys continue to have a wonderful summer, and thank you for listening to Gap Perspective with Haley and Janet.
Have a great summer. Thanks all. God bless.